Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and welcome to another modifying the Terminator, the T800. I've just put this together as it's going to go to give us an idea of how it's all coming together, and it's starting to look pretty impressive, I must admit. Obviously that needs work, and that's just assembled together obviously to show how the jaw's going to move. This is obviously previous work. There's no modifications to be done on that bit, and that bit is all sorted as well, so that's, let's say, together and out of the way. Now, new this month, we have obviously the brain part needs some work, and looks like this is going to go on there. So the piston, we'll need to take this back apart again to put that on there, and then that's going to go into the middle here, and the other bit there looks like that's going to go through the piston that side. So that's going to be like that, with obviously these bits giving articulation to that joint. So again, nothing really to be done with that yet so far. What we do have is, let's say, the brain work needs some shading and tidying up. And the hand and the fingers, they're a little loose, a little sloppy. So I'm going to be working on some of that. First things first, I'm going to be taking the fingers apart, so gently disassembling one of the fingers, and we'll see what we can do to make that look nicer. But before I do that, I'm going to do some work on this, because then I can leave that to dry while I'm doing the other bit. So let's see what we can do with this bit. First things first, it looks a bit too nice and clean, so we're going to dirty up the inside. The easiest way to do that is with some Citadel non-oil. It's just a wash, basically. It's a thin paint of a sort of dirty, not black, but sort of, I don't know, dark grey, browny, messy colour. Which you can just slap on, and it fills into the recesses and darkens down and gives a bit more definition to some of the lines and the panels. Making sure I can get it into all of the edges. Don't be frightened of using too much, you really can't. Spreading it around, making sure it goes right the way around the edges. And that is about that. Just going to clean up my spillage. There we go. So, as a first indentation, colouring, making it look a bit grimy and a bit more definition, I'm quite happy with that actually. I'll come back down, probably give it another coat when it's dry, and we'll see how it looks after that. There we go, that's added much more shade and definition to that. Happier with that. The only other thing to do left with this is to use the old brasso again and polish up the outside bits. So basically not going through the whole sanding it all down and polishing and everything as we tried to do on some of the other bits. It just didn't really need it. This was already quite a good match for the rest of it, and we don't want it to be overly, factory fresh shiny. So what we're doing is just removing some of the shaping, the tarnish, not worrying about the bits that are obviously inside, just the exterior bits that you can see. Once we polish that up a bit, just get rid of everything we're doing. That looks about right. Put that away for next time, and then just buff it over with a cloth, and that should give us an effect that's, I'd say, shinier than it was, but not a mirror surface, but matching the rest of what we've already done. Let's have a look. Let's just get this done quickly. I was thinking about doing some edge highlights and things like that on the inside bit, but the Nuln Oil's actually done it just about right, to be honest. I don't think it needs anything further than that. So we've got that, which if we put next to the head that we've already done, if I can get it lined up properly, there we go. That's not a bad match. Once it's all together and assembled, we can see about getting a closer match and polishing a little bit further, but I'm quite happy with that. It's meant to be two separate pieces, so it doesn't matter that they're not, you know, blended exactly. There's going to be a seam there, obviously, so, but that is now looking pretty impressive. I'm not unhappy with how that's coming together, to be honest. So with the rest of the head assembled, we can get it just about together. That's what we're looking at now. So yeah, I'm happy with that. That's come together quite nicely, and he's given it quite a good size as well. It's, you know, a good handful. The teeth match up from last time, so that's that for that. So I've taken a finger off. Now most of these joints are fine. They're lovely. They're not moving. They're fine, but that last one is not good. As you can see, it even under the weight of just that, it moves all over the place. So that one and the one that attached it to the palm were a bit sloppy. So what I'm going to do, we have the pin, the sort of the rivet that holds it in place. Now this one is actually, if you can see, let me zoom in a touch, and not drop it. It does have a rough texture, but it's obviously not rough enough. So what we're going to do is rough it up a bit more. I'm going to try, I was thinking about filing it, but that's not exactly what you need to do. So we've got some pliers here with a rough grip. I'm just going to try it and just sort of squeeze and scuff it up a little bit, making sure you get both the top and the bottom half of it, because I say one half of it will hold one bit and one half will hold another. There are several options to doing this. I've gone with the simplest because I like to keep things simple. There's no point in making things more complicated. Let me get the other one apart. What I'm actually doing is pulling on the little pin piece to pull that out, and then we'll see what this pin looks like. Yeah, see, that one is a little bit rough, but again, not enough. So I can get that bit out as well. Obviously you don't want to damage the outsides of these pins, so be careful when you're squeezing and pulling them. Yeah, that's again much the same, so I'm going to do much the same. The idea being, if we can make some of it excuse me, sort of rough up and grip a little bit. Now we could add things to it to rough it up by painting it or adding a layer or something, but I'm hoping that that's going to be just enough. So let's try getting that back together. It should be even stiffer going through there than it was, and that bit, get it the right way round, goes on there, and that's stiffer, but I think we can go a little bit more than that. So while that's in there, I'm just going to do the same again, a little bit more. Let's try that. That is much better. That's sticking where it needs to go, and by putting that pin in the middle there, that will force out the edges a little bit more, and that I'm happy with. So yeah, I'll be doing that on all of the joints that need it. Let me get this back onto there as well, and see if that was good enough for that. Now again, that bit is still a bit loose, so I'll just do the same again, a little bit more. I'm not going to film doing all that, so when it's assembled we'll see how all the joints look. And I'm happy with that. All of the fingers are posable and movable, but they stay where you put them, which is exactly what you need. Oh, that one's still a little bit loose, so a little bit of work on that one, but yeah, mostly exactly what you want. So that's that. So I'll tidy that one up. Going onwards, obviously the other two fingers on there may need the same work doing to them. They're smaller fingers, so there's less weight, but we'll see. But that's the theory with that so far. So yeah, that's that. On to the next bit. Right, the last bit for this issue. I've been looking at the one extra bit, the plastic bit, that I'm certain is going to go in there, because it does actually match up. I'm not going to take it apart and put it together, but that's again not a perfect fit on there, but it goes on all right. Still worrying about the bit at the top there, but once it's assembled we'll be able to figure out exactly what we're doing. And the same the other side. That's again not a tight fit, but there will need to be a certain amount of flexibility involved. So I'm quite happy with how that looks like that's going to go back together. Again, the plastic chroming is a good match for the metal chroming. They've done quite well on that. The other bit that we did, let's say during this issue, was putting in the black plastic bit on there, which is obviously similar to the metal bit we've got down there. I'm assuming there's going to be a metal bit that goes against that, and there's going to be the plastic bit that goes on there to give you that sort of clicking rotation. How it works, how it holds up, we'll find out down the line. This bit obviously still rotates around there, so you get full movement in various different directions, and obviously the elbow hinge is going to work like that. So yeah, it's all coming together. That's it for this update and modification video. I'll leave it with the headpiece, which is obviously the most impressive bit so far. Thank you for watching. Join me again next month, when hopefully all this will actually go together instead of being several different bits. More hand action as well. We're going to have more fingers coming along. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon for more. Bye bye.